So we're gonna work on the today number um, math, and a lot of people had difficulty with this. And remember, it's the number of the day. So whatever number it says in Blackboard. So we are actually just gonna do it on the number 121. Okay, for example. And you need to have one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And 121. So we want to know if the number is odd or even, and we can tell a number is odd or even by looking at the number in the ones place. The ones place only. You don't have to look at the tens, the hundreds, thousands, anywhere else except for the ones place. If that number is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, you know that number is even. If that number is none of those numbers such as 1, we know that number is an odd number. Okay, so you need to know that. You can look at the number in the ones place and you can figure that out. And we are going to go ahead and circle that odd. Go ahead and circle that odd word there. Expanded form. Okay, the expanded form of 121. So the expanded form would kind of look, we can look at, oops, let's go ahead and write that number 121. Sorry about that. 121. So expanded form, if you look at the number, you look at the number 1 in the hundreds place, and the that number 1 in the hundreds place, what value is that? It's 100. Okay, and then you write plus. The number in the tens place is a 2, but the value is 20. And the number in the ones place is 1, and the value is 1. Okay, let's take a look at some other things. For instance, this. So here we have the number 9,000 plus 200 plus 50 plus 1, and we're going to change it back to the standard form. This is expanded form right now. So 9,000 would be 9 in the thousands place. 200 would be a 2 in the hundreds place. 50 would be 5 in the tens place. And 1 would be 1 in the ones place. Again, this is the expanded form, 5,000 plus 500 plus 50 plus 6. So we're just changing it to standard form. It is already in the expanded form. So if we have the number 323, 3 in the hundreds place, the value is 300. 2 is in the tens place, the value is 20. And 3 in the ones place, the value is 3. Standard form and expanded form. So a lot of kids were having a hard time with that. Okay, let's go ahead and go back. And the word form, for some reason, a lot of people skipped this, but you're just writing it out. 121, 121, not 121. Remember, we only use the word and to for decimal. We're not working with decimals. So 121 would be the word form. So don't skip that, or I will send it back to you. Now, 121, when we're looking at the money, okay, what I want you guys to look at, you can work on it as, for instance, 121 cents, but for the most part, $1.21. I won't accept you guys saying 121 pennies. We're not going to do that for sure, and I won't allow that. But money, so what's one way to make a dollar? And we can just say $1 would be $1. Or you can say 4 quarters, and then 21 cents. What's one of the least amount of ways? So using dimes and nickels, and you can use pennies, but not 21 pennies. So we could say 2 dimes. So we can say 2 Ds and 1 penny. That equals 21 cents. 5, 10, 15, 20, 4 nickels, and 1 penny. So what are the ways to make the number of the day? Okay, the next three numbers from 121, 122, 123, 124. I think everyone has gotten that. 10 more. So we're going to do 10 more than 121. And we look at the number in the tens place. We're adding 110 to the tens place, and make it 131. 10 less than 121. So if we have two tens, we take away 110, we're going to have 111. 100 more, we're going to look at the number in the hundreds place. Okay, we have 100 now, but if you add 100 more, you're going to have 2 in the hundreds place. And the tens place stays the same, and the ones place stays the same. 221. 100 less, right now we have 1 in the hundreds place. We take 100 away, we are going to only have 21. We'll come back to round it at the end. And then we're going to look at the number in the hundreds place is a 1, the number in the tens place is 2 tens, and the number in the ones place is 1 1. If we don't have thousands, you can cross off. You're going to draw this using our base 10 blocks. 100, we're going to have one flat because that equals 100. Okay. 2 tens, we're going to have 2 longs. Okay. That's 2 tens and 1 1. So make sure you're drawing out your base 10 blocks. And then rounding, you can go ahead and cross off. Well, we won't ever have thousands, so lucky you guys. We're going to round these numbers. Okay. We're going to round number 121 to the nearest 10. Our number in the tens place is a 2. And we look at the number in the ones place to say whether the 2 stays the same or goes up. Okay, we know the hundreds is going to stay the same because we're working with rounding to the nearest 10. 2 is either going to stay at a 2 or go up to 3. 121 is it closer to 120 or 130? And we know just by thinking about it, it's closer to 120, but if we want to get technical, if this number is between 0 and 4, okay, this number is going to stay the same, and since it is, the 2 stays the same, and then anything else changes to a 0. If this number was between 5 and 9, okay, then this number would have gone up to 3, and this would have turned to a 0, rounding to the nearest 10. Now we're going to round to the nearest 100, and let's look at 121. The number in the hundreds place is 100. The 2 tells the 1 to stay the same or go up. Since the 2 is between 0 and 4, this number is going to stay the same, and the 2 is going to turn to a 0, and the 1 is going to turn to a 0. Now we can look at it. 121 for rounding, is it closer to 100 or to 200? If we wrote a timeline out, okay, you could actually see that as well. This is 200 and this is 100. And halfway in between is 150. Okay, that's halfway. Well, 121 is somewhere over here. So we know and we can see on a number chart here that, and you can use a number chart to tell, it's closer to 100. But we can also round with our rule. 0 to 4 stays the same. 5 to 9, you go up. So the rounded really is the only one that we haven't really gone over too terribly much there. I expect everything to be filled out. If not, you need to redo that. And we will continue to work on this. Have a great day and watch this if you still need help filling one out. Thank you. Have a great day.